Peace, family. If I was to ask you what the term democracy mean to you, what would be the first thing come to your mind? To me, it would be a system of government designed to afford its citizens a respectable quality of life. That would be the most professional definition that I would come up with. Did you come up with anything close to that? I probably doubt it. You know why? Because this system of government has done just about the complete opposite of that. And if you don't have enough people benefiting from this so-called democracy, then the people won't respect it. And why don't they respect it? It's because we got elected officials in office right now that's doing this nonsense. Let's get into this.
There's also the Wall Street Journal and New York Times citing multiple sources reporting today that Attorney General Pam Bondi told Trump months ago that his name was among many mentioned in the Epstein files. Now, to be clear, just being mentioned is not a sign of wrongdoing. But when asked point blank last week if Bondi had told him his name was in the files, Trump denied it.
Let me say this. Do you, as probably with a lot of you people out there, I know dozens of drug dealers that I grew up with, all over my community. Car thieves, molesters, they commit all types of crimes. And they was getting arrested. And some of them lost their life behind it. But you know what else? Not one time has my name ever been brought up when they was investigated, arrested, or anything. Not once. Donald Trump name is popping up all over this guy has been, his name has been popping up in this Epstein files multiple times. Multiple. And then when asked, what'd he do? Is your name in the files? This is his response.
What did she tell you about reviewing? Specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in turn.
I want to stop that right there. Now, see, you didn't just threw your attorney general up under the bus. It's already been leaked that she told you this information months ago. So now when they go back to her and say that Donald Trump has denied that you told him this, and you got it on paper, what is she to say then? You see, Donald Trump, he has no accountability whatsoever. He has no integrity, no respect for anyone. And he always deflect by claiming that either he don't know the person, know him very little, or they had nothing to do with his campaign. He's going to minimize it somehow. But this is the person that we didn't elected official. This is why the people don't respect the democracy that this country's supposed to be run by. But let's continue.
Of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama.
The fact of the matter is this. When Donald Trump was in office in his first term, he had several lawsuits pending against him. But they had to wait because you could not sue a sitting president of the United States. And by the time his term was over with, the statute of limitations was running out. This man has been in office during the second term a little over 6 months. And he done already sued several law firms, the Wall Street Journal, ABC, and I believe CBS. Like I said, this is why the people do not respect the democracy, because the democracy should be a reflection that benefit the people as well as those in office. When you can have a person elected president of the United States And you cannot sue him for crimes that he's doing that's endangering the quality of life of the citizens. But yet this man can sit from the Oval Office and sue people indiscriminately. And let me talk about this defamation of character. When you sue somebody for defamation of character, the first thing you have to do is demonstrate a disregard to the facts. You have to basically prove that these people are putting these accusations out there with the sole intention to damaging your character. That's number one. And then you have to present evidence that show that they're not telling the truth. So you basically have to prove that these accusations are not right. Donald Trump, when you was elected president of the United States, you was 2 weeks out of being found guilty on 34 felonies. You was found liable for sexual assault. Your lawyer went to jail for paying a porn star that you slept with for sex, and he served the time. You filed bankruptcy several times. You bankrupted several businesses. You said that you would grab women by the crotch just because you're a celebrity and you can do that. And I'm not even going to talk about the people you done swindled, the laborers that you done swindled, the bank loans that you wasn't even qualified to get a loan in the United States. How much character do you think that you have that's anywhere near the $10 billion that you're suing Wall Street Journal over? You're a cheater, you're a liar, you're a manipulator. Your own wife have to sign a contract to be seen with you in public. And you want to sue somebody for $10 billion? If I was Barack Obama, I'd be suing you for 100 times that, because you have went out of your way to put this man's name in your mouth to deflect from your shenanigans. But see, Donald Trump, you have no respect for the office of President of the United States. And Barack Obama said that he did not respond out of respect for the office of President of the United States. And you're playing right into this fool's hands. It's okay. I'm not. But let's continue.
In the words of Politico Playbook, if it wasn't a crisis already, it is indisputably one now, and it threatens to swallow the news cycle and drastically complicate the GOP's push to enact Trump's agenda.
This is most definitely going to swallow the news cycle. You have a sitting president of the United States accused of being with underage teenage girls from a known pedophile. We can't even talk policies and legislation because we don't even know if you're going to be in office long enough to even get these policies pushed through. But let's sit and listen to what Jeffrey Epstein himself said about his interactions with Donald Trump.
And a newly unearthed clip from a 2010 deposition shows Jeffrey Epstein himself being questioned about his relationship with Donald Trump and choosing his words very carefully.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Nah. I've seen cheaters that get caught, and when the spouse asks, "What have you been doing with this person?" the moment they hesitate to answer, to respond, they automatically associate guilt to their actions. Here's Jeffrey Epstein, a known, he's a professional sex trafficker. This man had no job other than providing the rich, the powerful, the elite access to underage girls. And in this testimony, he's answering questions left and right. But when he asks about Donald Trump, now you want to pause and hesitate. And not only that, you cite several statutes of the Constitution to protect your right to stay quiet. Why is that? If Donald Trump had nothing to do with your career of providing underage, why not just say no? No. Absolutely not. Like I say, I've grown up and around drug dealers, people that I've known later on in life that was sexually assaulting other girls. My name ain't never been brought up in that behavior. I have no criminal record whatsoever. Everybody Donald Trump hangs around is some type of criminal except him. And you've been campaigning on using this Epstein situation to rile up your base, to get it back into the White House, and it worked. And now your penance is due. You've been throwing out these little specks of meat to feed your base. And now these little specks is no longer satisfying to them. And now, look and behold, you have a sitting president of the United States sitting there lying about his association with Jeffrey Epstein. You see Jeffrey Epstein himself claiming that he wants to cite several different reasons to protect his right to speak because of Donald Trump. At what point do you draw the line? Is enough enough? Despite Donald Trump being being president of the United States with immunity, how far does that immunity go? If it is proven that Donald Trump has engaged with this man in illegal sexual acts with underage girls, do you have to wait until this man's term of office is over before you get him out, or do you start the procedures right now? Because to me, even being accused of this type of behavior, if you had any integrity whatsoever, you would remove yourself. So I'm in this video here. Leave your thoughts in the comments section, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.